I'm sort of at a point right now where I'm more trying to temper my fury for the lack of forward momentum. And part of me sort of is like, well, like, let's nip some of these things on the bud. Like, you know, like the flight legislation, I reviewed that. I reviewed the other stuff. But outside of that, like, I feel wrong getting anyone to write more legislation because we may never, like, God knows when that's going to materialize, right? It sort of reminds me of the first term where it took us 6 weeks just to get businesses going. And I may actually reach out to I'm going to try to reach out to you know, whoever I need to see what's going on, because you know, at a certain point I'm not going to waste my time, and subsequently that's also going to have an effect, right? Which is why I'm around to begin with, right? I don't want our team to lose steam. I also don't want people that are relying on us to lose steam, but you know, I'm sort of at the cusp of it. It's now officially 2 weeks since any legislation has been looked at.
If I can be honest, and I know I can, so I'm going to. I'm excited and willing to take on the challenge that these articles of impeachment are going to present. But if they go nowhere, right, and nothing happens, I'm going to crash out. I'm not going to lie to you. Because at that point, it's just like the stop button is on and no one can hit play again. And I'm not drafting legislation just for the sake of drafting it when I know it's not going to see the light of day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a waste of energy exerted.
It is. Yeah.
So I think if there was like other avenues that were available for us to make things tick, sure. Like I contemplated, for example, let me just start fucking taking out county money and start using it to like start shit up in the city. Right? But the problem with that is that these stupid cunts are just gonna find a reason to make our life miserable, because that I think that's what makes them tick. And so
easier shit,
so it would just be playing into, like, so I'll give you an example, right? Like yesterday I was talking to Pred and he was talking about just taking his legislation and posting it up, and I kind of warned him against that because of what the obvious, right? He posted, and more likely than not, he's now got another court case that's going to be he's going to get dragged through the streets with. You know what I mean? So it's not worth it. Would it do short-term good? Would it be exciting for a day? Sure, but you know, the cost of it is too high, right?
Maybe this is just my petty brain activating here, but we do conversely have a strategy, and I'm not sure this is the right path. I'm just saying it's a path. We conversely have the strategy of writing a fuck ton of legislation, slamming the docket with it, and then being able to say, look, we're doing our part. Look who it's getting hung up on, not us.
Yeah, but we already saw that in term one, where it was taking them a week to do a constitutional review. Stuff that moved to contest phase in past 3 days was never enacted into legislation. Everyone knows the hang up is the DOJ, and I don't want to dogpile on them. You know what I mean?
Why not?
Well, because I feel like the more methodical approach of filing the articles of impeachment and then drafting new legislation to build back up the state is the one that's going to get shit done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, that's why I said it's the petty approach. I don't know if it's the right approach. It's just the petty
I mean, I think the reality is we've got like 6 pieces waiting to be looked at. I think completing those are good. I mean, we don't really have that much more that needs to be done other than the lawyer stuff and the clap stuff. But there's the other end of the spectrum, right? Which is, we talked about wanting to do districts and all these things that can add kind of another layer of interest throughout the city. But the reality is that shit was so slow going that those that I think would have been interesting to even run these districts, they're cooked through. So, I think where it is with it is, I think we definitely go ahead with the impeachment stuff and lay out the series of problems, be it the original changing of the law to like, you know, when our stuff was originally contested, the FOIA stuff, like literally lay it all out, to now the dereliction of duty. And I think I've been hesitant for a long time, even in the face of people saying we got to impeach, because I also recognize that who's going to take the helm, right? And we need to find a way forward. But now it's past that point where why you know a donkey's going to remain a donkey, right? And even if we thought all we needed to do is teach it how to sit or whatever, but it ain't even doing that.
Who's going to take the helm is a valid concern, but I mean, if we're worried about having an empty seat and being unsure of how to fill it, I mean, the seat's already effectively empty. It's not really a change.
True.
Yes, we want someone to fill it, but it's not like it's really going to get worse because nobody's there.
I think we focus on what we can control, and the impeachment is one thing. Number two is we've contested a lot of legislation in the forms of requesting audits for it. And I think we put forward what could be or what should have been in the first place, and show them that, you know, I'm not saying we can do their job for them, but there is value in collaborating with other people, namely Los Santos County, Plain County, and Sama, to build a better state. You know what I mean? All we can do is give a good example. And if they get impeached, they get impeached, and then it's on the state to appoint new justices. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think it's also beyond our purview. I think we can also, in doing so, possibly introduce a measure that circumvents. We need to review whether even we need the DOJ.
We don't. I mean, per the notice from the state, the DOJ's uncontested authority lies in legal and judicial matters, and their legislative authority requires a referendum for state level legislation. There's nothing that says they inherently need to be involved in county level legislation, other than the fact that the mechanisms in place, like the City Hall Forum, exist, and then to provide the constitutional review. But again, I would argue that the legislation should pass, and after it's been enacted by the county, the DOJ should contest it on grounds of unconstitutionality.
You're not wrong. Like in the same, I mean, I guess they wouldn't necessarily have to have the same time period that others have, but in the same time period that others have.
What do you mean?
So, like, are you suggesting, like, we put up the legislation and then, like, normally, you know, it goes to, like...
No.
So we can't.
I think...
So, let me put a pin in this whole thing. As of what it is currently written, we cannot, right?
Per what legislation? Is the Constitution?
It's not in the Constitution. It's in the legislative proposal and approval process.
Oh.
So, my point being that I agree with you on the principle of if you were to derive whether it's we need to or not, right? Stemming from the Constitution. But the thing is that this is currently enacted legislation, and until that is reviewed, changed, etc., it's
illegal. It would be illegal. You're right.
Yeah.
But that's, again, that whole piece of legislation and the framework it creates is pending conversation between the legislative authorities anyways. So, I mean, that one's at a standstill, and the entire legislative process is at a standstill because of it. They need to sit down and have a conversation, is my point.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that is Not a bad idea. So
I think the thing that maybe they're not understanding is that we don't inherently have an issue with the DOJ or the marshals like existing. Our issues are purely in the power that they've given themselves and the overreach. Like,
Well,
it's
it's
not.
how they've deployed them against
Yeah,
the spirit of what they were supposed to be.
exactly. Like, we're still sitting here trying to come to the table in good faith and work with them and come to solutions that, you know, are functional, constitutional, and amenable to everyone.
Yeah.
But like, they're like, well, they hate us and they want to, you know, get rid of everything. And like, that's not true.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, we're coming for some of
yeah.
their jobs, but like, that's only because, you know,
Well,
fuckery.
we're coming for their jobs because they're not doing the bare minimum,
Yeah.
which is really all we've asked for.
Or that they're doing, you know,
stay
far,
in your
far
lane.
too much.
Exactly. Stay in your lane and do your job. It literally is the bare
Yeah.
minimum.
Let us do ours. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let, you know, PD do theirs, etc.
Yeah, but we can't pull the trigger, you dumb fuck.
I like.
I don't want to
course
say
of
it like
action we
that,
came up
but
with yesterday, I like the idea.
You literally
of,
can't.
you know, let's get over the impeachment edging and actually put pen to paper and take action. It's a lengthy process. I'm sure you guys both saw I created a framework for impeachment that a lot of evidence is going to have to go into. And I think that very much is going to be a team effort on our part. There's probably a lot of text messages and shit that have been out there that we're going to want documented in the articles. We're going to have to go through all the revisions and amendments made to legislation and all the fuckery that occurred in state level legislation, all the fuckery on the docket, everything with Pred's case. It all needs to be documented and included as evidence in the articles. And I think that's an exciting challenge. It's a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But I think as part of that, in the name of good faith, if we're going to say all this legislation is dog shit, it's also on us to put forward something better.
I agree with that. And I think that rewriting assignment is a good first step, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Is that this is how it should look, and we could possibly push for a referendum.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And maybe that's the path we take. Is
referendum.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nino.
It's where you put forth legislation that is voted in as opposed to goes through the normal channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a proposition, effectively.
Okay.
So I think there may be a path for that. So I'm down to explore that.
Yeah. But the idea, like, I like that idea far more than just, you know, shotgunning a bunch of legislation for our county and putting it up there and saying, look, they're not doing their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're taking the far more actionable approach with what we came up with yesterday. So
I agree. Yeah.
I'm also a fan of taking the high road as much as sometimes my brain can go petty places.
I mean, it kind of goes back to like how often impeach. Reality is that you can't just impeach. It's like a fool's errand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly,
until you've got what we've got at this stage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is now patterned, systematic, absolute failure on you know, all the tick boxes are ticked.
Yeah.
I feel like 2 weeks since being ordered by the state to cooperate and, you know, collaborate with us is also a good benchmark of like, we haven't seen anything yet. Well, I guess except you had one meeting that went not well. So, other than that, you know, 2 weeks of
that alone is dereliction
nothing.
of duty, right? I mean, let's be honest.
They showed up the first day, didn't want to compromise or work with us at all, and haven't showed up since.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the toys got taken away. I mean, you know, it's the bubble was popped. Wait, we're not, Max.
Yeah.
We can't do this. Okay. All right.
Very
let's go ahead and pull the trigger on that then. And start to rewrite it, and then we'll see where we can go with it. And I'm going to try to get some clarity this weekend.
I've drafted the framework. If you have anything documented that you can send me copies of, like text messages of fuckery or anything like that, any evidence you have to put forward is going to help. Because when you put forward articles of impeachment, it says you have to put forward all the evidence with the submission. It's not like a court case.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, perfect.
And then we'll take a look at it and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't have any evidence for you, obviously.
Well, no, but I'm gonna need your help.
Lack of jingling in my pocket.
Oh, you need money?
Oh, keys.
Oh my God! Add that to the list.
It's on.
Maybe that's what we got to do is just start ticking it up.
That's literally how I'm framing it. Is I'm ticking every little box to paint a pattern of behavior. You know what I mean? It's going to be very methodical, but where I was going was Maeve and Archibald and everyone else. I'm going to need help going through all the amendments to the legislation, getting dates, getting diffs, getting, I can do the thought behind it, why it's unconstitutional. Can I even do that
without keys, though?
I
don't think I can see edits and stuff. Like, I'm literally, I'm dead in the water useless here.
I don't think she can see reports, right, Nino?
I don't believe so, no.
All I can see is public-facing legislation.
All right, Archibald and I can do it.
This is part of why I'm not really taking on much at the moment, because, like, I can't do my job effectively. Like,
we can, Hallow is going to be around at the deposition today, so we can tell him directly.
Yeah. Okay. It's too bad Abilene isn't around.
I think Abilene is someone we could have used now. Abilene's energy back then would have been would have led to. This is why. How do I? Sometimes I may seem like I'm holding back the punches, but I also know what the fallout can look like.
Yeah.
And I think you understand what I mean.
I do. Yeah, I do.
And that the crashing out that we've seen recently, it would have been much worse if we unleashed Abilene back then.
Yeah. I agree.
Sometimes it's good to let things play out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you have a leg to stand on.
Yeah. Well, Maeve, what I can at least do is I can get you external copies of the diff between, a piece of legislation and its revision history, and maybe you can go through it for me. At least help out that way if you don't mind.
Yeah, I can try, yeah.
I know Archibald can do the same, and, we'll get it done. It just might take a few days.
Yeah, I'm happy to look through stuff and whatever. It's just my access to shit is non-existent, so...
Yeah, no, I hear you. I will make sure you have what you need.
Standing at the counter in City Hall is just waiting to get kidnapped if I do that for an extended period.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'll make sure you have what you need. Okay, I'll get you copies of everything and I'll email them to you, and you help me out however you can.
Okay.
Monday we're gonna fire off. Actually, let me send another announcement. For the weed dispensaries and cultivation spots.
Was that one closing it?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say closing as much as picking the first licenses.
Gotcha. Okay.
And where I'm thinking is based on what people end up paying, that the next ones should always be 25% more. And so first to market ends up getting the biggest discount, and that way. So the way that I imagine it in my mind, right? So we've got $1.5 million bids. Actually, let me take a look.
We have a $2 million bid now. From Cynthia.
Really?
Yeah.
So first off, I never would have thought it would have gotten this high, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's good because what I think we should do is obviously let's see how things go, right? Maybe these things bleed so much money, but I think any license that comes after it, we add like 25 to 50% higher cost.
Yeah.
And so the barrier to entry slowly increases, right?
Yeah.
And that will allow it to be somewhat self-managing. We can make some exceptions, but if I'm going to be honest, I think that's a good way to ensure that only the most dedicated are getting dispensaries and grow houses, because the side effect of this is everybody has it and there's no way to monitor it. We have no good tools to help us, so we can only take on so much as an office, let alone the PD.
Yeah.
I do think with that for Monday, and I think this needs to be a high priority, I would put that on the Trello.
Okay.
I think we need to have a form that has a password on it. And that form is only going to be given to the licensors, the ones with the licenses. And anytime they add someone or remove someone, it should update the Excel sheet with green or red with another tab that's got like employee lists. You get what I'm saying? So when they add someone, it shows it as green. When they remove someone, it shows it as red. And that way, law enforcement can have access to a list of name, CID, phone numbers. It's effectively like an audit log.
That's just for staff, not for sales orders and so on.
That's not our concern.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's not. I think as
I'd
long.
say that's up to the dispensaries to
Yeah.
if they want to.
So the reason why we're solving this is, brother, the PD can barely fucking.
Fuck, I know.
It's such an. If I look, I'm gonna be transparent. It's so bad that I've sort of somewhat given up on some aspects of it. But there's no solving it either. But this is one of those things where I think we have to do the legwork and just be like, this is what it is. Now you manage it. You know what I mean? We've solved this for you. Don't come to us crying. And I think alongside that should be a little expectations guideline, right? And we'll give them a copy of it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can put it in like, we can keep the, so if we go to reports and we create a report that's like Los Santos, like cultivation and whatever, we can write all of it in there and then give them a copy of the PDF. And in there should be like, this is the link. Password is only available, is given by the mayor's office. And here's a link to the output. So any person in PD, like, we've done our work, we've done our job, here it is, boom, boom. Sorry, Maeve, you were going to say something and then I kind of cut you off.
If I was, I don't remember it.
Oh, okay,
I think I was.
Oh, you did like a little bit of a or whatever, so I thought you were about to say something.
I think I was being snarky at Michael. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Anything else we want to discuss?
I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm combative today.
I hear it.
Hey.
I'll try and get that done for tomorrow, so it's ready to go for Monday. That's not a big one. That'll take me minutes, not hours.
Okay.
I'm good on everything else. I mean, I feel like I have enough work for the next 4 or 5 days with everything with the impeachments and state legislation.
Yeah.
And then dispensaries and cultivation. So I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll try and loop in the rest of the cabinet members to help out with the collection of evidence and the formalization of those articles of impeachment.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I have anything. Michael, is there anything I can do to help you with the whole, like, public awareness PR campaign we were planning? Like, do you need any help on that front? That might actually be something I could help you with.
That's more Archie's wheelhouse, and I don't want to step on his toes. Like, I'm gonna put a book together, right?
Yeah.
But how you deploy that and how you go about raising awareness, I would much rather leave that under Archibald's purview. Communications is his thing, and I want him to, have control of that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I have to go find out what happened to our contest too.
They never got
Which-
posted,
Oh
right?
Oh my god, yeah, what happened to him?
I thought they
Add
were gonna
that
get
to the
posted.
list.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like nobody knows we're doing shit because it's not there.
Can you get Michael, can you get me a list of all the things that we've done in the past couple weeks and all the things that we're trying to do and is waiting? I
Yep.
think I might hold a press conference today.
Yeah. Okay. So all the requests for audit, I think they start with the legislative process until now. All the legislation we tried to pass, yeah, I'll get you a list.
Okay.
Yeah, I think press conference is a great
Yeah.
idea.
I agree. I think people need to know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Because even the stuff that we're doing that should be like public information isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Beautiful. If it all right. Okay. I'm gonna go think.
Yeah. Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Let me know if you need anything, yeah?
For sure. You take care. You're right.
Let me take a look. Wait, did I send the announcement out? I didn't. Oh, shit. 15 minutes. Wait, let's go to this. There's not 60 people, dude. What? I don't know when that was sent out. Yeah, by the way, sorry for snapping on whoever that was in chat, but like, there's no magical button of impeachment and then you go crying about it, right? And then it magically happens. You have to do it right, right? Anyone can be like, impeach, 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 ACR, ACR, ACR. But unless you want to look like an idiot, you need actual like substance to your allegation. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, like a lot of people have been like talking about impeaching everybody, right? Impeach Angel, impeach the justices, impeach Nino, impeach Daisy. The fuck are you gonna go waste your time? You know what I mean? Yeah, you need to have something of merit. Doesn't just magically happen because you imagine it into play. Otherwise, it would have already happened. You have two choices, right? You could do it.
Oh, hi, Nino.
How you doing, Arcadia? Oh, hey, did you find out what was it you that I asked about McNee and the FOIA stuff, or was that another judge?
Yes. McNee's on a bit of an LOA at the moment, though. Unfortunately, himself and the justices are all a bit out of the town.
Oh,
So things are a little slow rolling at the moment.
okay. McNee, is there a way? He said he was gonna forward the matter to a different judge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that. 1 second. Let me look.
What do you mean by LOA, by the way?
Just a leave of absence, you know.
I got you.
We're all government employees. We're all entitled to a breaker, you know, every once in a while.
I